Wisdom beyond 60, dear everyone. Let me ask you something that might surprise you. Most people over 60 have been told that their health and longevity are simply a matter of fate. That after a certain birthday, the best days are behind us. But what if I told you that this belief is not only misleading, it is quietly taking years away from lives that could be fuller, stronger, and longer? What if the difference between a vibrant 70s and a struggling 60s isn't fate at all, but a few small habits that either lift you up or pull you down, day after day? I have seen this with my own eyes. Some of my friends in their 70s move with energy, laugh with ease, and still wake up every morning with plans for the day. Others, not much older, feel trapped in fatigue and discouragement. At first, it might look like luck. But when you look closer, you discover a truth that is both simple and powerful. The habits we keep every day, what we eat, how we move, how we think, how we connect, decide whether we thrive after 60 or decline far too soon. This is why I am here with you today. Because longevity after 60 is not written in stone. It is not just for a lucky few living in faraway places. It can be your story, my story, our story, if we dare to pay attention. The shocking part is that so many of us are unknowingly holding on to 7 daily habits that quietly shorten the gift of time. They look harmless. They feel normal. But together they steal energy, joy, and independence in ways most people don't realize until it is late. And this is where the journey begins. Not with fear, not with hopelessness, but with the awareness that change is possible. Imagine pausing right now and asking yourself, if I could reclaim just 5 more good years, what would I do with them? Would I spend them laughing with my grandchildren, traveling to places I dreamed of, or simply waking up pain-free and full of life? That vision is closer than you think. So before we go deeper into these 7 hidden habits, let me pause to invite you. Please subscribe to Beyond 60 Wisdom. Your support gives me the motivation to keep creating these heartfelt messages, to keep sharing what I've learned as both a companion and a guide on this path of aging well. Together, we can build a community where wisdom is not just shared, but lived every single day. Now, I want to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect on this simple question. Do you believe that after 60, our health and longevity are mostly determined by fate? B, or do you believe that after 60, daily choices still hold the power to transform our future? Comment your answer, A or B, below this video. Your words matter, and they inspire not only me, but also everyone else who is walking this journey beside you. And please, do not leave yet, because the most valuable part is just ahead. In the next section, I will reveal the 7 daily habits that quietly cut life shorter than it needs to be, and how to stop them before it's too late. Stay with me, because what you hear next may change the way you live every single day from now on. I remember meeting Margaret, a 72-year-old woman, at a community gathering not too long ago. She carried herself with a warmth that was undeniable, yet behind her smile was a story of struggle. She told me how for years she skipped breakfast, spent long hours sitting at her sewing machine, and stayed up late watching television. The result was predictable: fatigue, high blood pressure, and a mind that felt slower than it used to be. At first, she accepted it as just part of aging. But then something inside her shifted. She decided that she did not want the final chapters of her life to be defined by exhaustion. Slowly, she began making changes, eating a balanced breakfast, moving her body each day, and choosing rest over late-night distractions. Within 3 months, she looked at me with a sparkle in her eyes and said, "I feel like I've gained 10 years back." Her story is not an exception. I have seen this pattern repeat over and over. People assume that growing older means losing strength, memory, and independence. But science tells us a different story. Even after 60, our bodies and minds retain a remarkable ability to adapt, to heal, and to grow stronger, if we stop feeding the habits that drag us down. That's the part that often shocks people. The decline we see is not always inevitable. Many times, it is the accumulation of small, hidden habits that quietly wear us out. Sitting too long, neglecting meaningful connections, ignoring rest, or carrying worry like a heavy stone in our pockets. Think about it. The human body is built for resilience. Muscles can be strengthened, memory can be sharpened, mood can be lifted, all through consistent choices. The key lies not in doing something extraordinary, but in letting go of what no longer serves us. And this is where longevity after 60 becomes so powerful. It is not about fighting against time. It is about aligning with time, choosing habits that honor the years we have been given. I often tell people, aging does not mean disappearing. It means transforming. Margaret's laughter was proof of that. The woman who once felt trapped in her body found freedom again by making different daily decisions. And if she can do it, so can you. This truth is both liberating and urgent. Liberating because it shows us that change is within reach at any age. Urgent because every day we hold on to destructive habits is another day we lose strength, vitality, and joy. Longevity after 60 is not about surviving. It is about reclaiming life in its fullest sense. So as we move forward, I want you to stay with me. The most revealing part is still to come. In just a moment, I will uncover the 7 daily habits that quietly shorten life and independence, and more importantly, how to stop them before they steal another year. Do not leave now, because the next section could be the turning point that inspires you to reshape your days and embrace the life you truly deserve. When I look across cultures and across continents, I see the same truth reflected back at me. In Okinawa, Japan, elders in their 80s and 90s rise each day with a sense of purpose, gather with friends, and move their bodies naturally through gardens and walks. In small towns across the United States, I have met men and women well past 70 who credit their well-being not to extraordinary resources, but to simple, intentional choices made daily. The message is consistent. Longevity after 60 is not written into our destiny. It is shaped by the way we choose to live. It is tempting to believe that health is a lottery ticket, that only the fortunate few inherit long life. But the evidence tells another story. The foundation of aging well is built on patterns of living that are available to each of us, letting go of harmful routines, nurturing connections, honoring the body with movement and rest, and cultivating peace within the mind. What sets apart those who thrive in their later years is not luck, but the courage to change. And change, even in its smallest form, has the power to open doors we thought were already closed. I often remind myself that age is not a thief. Age is a mirror. It reflects back the investments we have made over time. Some of us see resilience because we planted seeds of care. Others see frailty because harmful habits went unnoticed for too long. But even then, the mirror can change. Every day offers a chance to shift what will be reflected tomorrow. Longevity after 60 becomes a conscious act, a decision to choose what adds life rather than what takes it away. The most encouraging part is that these choices ripple far beyond the individual. When a grandparent chooses to maintain health, the family feels it. Grandchildren inherit not just stories, but living examples of strength and vitality. Communities grow stronger when elders remain engaged, active, and hopeful. In this sense, your decision to release destructive habits and embrace supportive ones is not just about you. It is about the legacy of energy and wisdom you leave behind. That is why I believe so deeply that longevity after 60 is a matter of choice, not fate. From Asia to America, from villages to cities, the pattern repeats. Those who pay attention to their daily habits write a different ending to their story. And that ending is not one of decline, but of renewal. So as we continue, I urge you not to step away now, because what comes next is the most practical and important part. I will walk you through the 7 specific habits that quietly cut life shorter than it needs to be, and I will show you how to let them go with confidence and clarity. Stay with me, because the next section is where awareness turns into action, and where you will discover the real steps to protect your health, your freedom, and your joy for the years ahead. I want to take you even deeper into this truth, because the power of longevity after 60 lies not only in what we let go of, but also in what we choose to embrace. Too often I hear people say, "At my age, it's too late to change." But I've learned that this belief is one of the most damaging habits of all. The moment we convince ourselves that nothing can be different, we hand over the steering wheel of our life to resignation. Yet the reality is that every small decision, even today, even this very hour, holds the possibility to reshape the quality of our tomorrow. I have spoken with men and women who once felt stuck, believing decline was inevitable. They told me stories of how they used to sit for hours, letting days slip by in routine, disconnected from friends and family. And then one choice, just one, set a new path in motion. A short daily walk with a neighbor, a phone call to a sibling they hadn't spoken to in years, a commitment to rest their body instead of pushing through exhaustion. None of these actions required extraordinary strength, only a willingness to begin. Yet over time, those small choices stacked up, creating a life with more light, more laughter, and more independence. What moves me most is how quickly the spirit responds once harmful habits are released. I once visited a retired teacher who told me she had lived under the weight of constant worry. Every night, she replayed regrets from the past. Every morning, she carried fears about the future. It drained her of energy, and her body reflected that burden. But when she began practicing something as simple as mindful breathing each evening, she noticed a shift. Sleep came easier. Her mornings felt calmer, and within weeks, her friends noticed her smile returning. This is the miracle of letting go. When we free ourselves from what harms us, the space is immediately filled with vitality we thought was gone forever. Longevity after 60 is not about pretending that aging doesn't come with challenges. Of course it does, but it is about refusing to surrender to the idea that those challenges define who we are. Our identity is not the number of candles on a cake, it is the way we choose to carry those years. The human body, the human mind, and most importantly, the human heart, are all designed to respond to care. When we feed them with compassion, movement, connection, and rest, they reward us in ways that stretch far beyond statistics. So I ask you to think of your own life right now. Which of your daily habits are giving you life, and which are quietly stealing it? The answer to that question is more important than any number on a chart, because the quality of your years will be written not by fate, but by your decisions. Stay with me, because in the next part I will guide you step by step through the 7 daily habits that most people over 60 must stop immediately if they want to reclaim their energy and their independence. This is the practical, essential part you cannot miss, and it may be the very key to unlocking the healthiest and most joyful years still ahead of you. As we come to this point, I want you to pause with me and take in everything we've uncovered so far. Longevity after 60 is not an unreachable dream, nor is it reserved for people in faraway places with special secrets. It is real, it is practical, and it is available to you right now. The stories we've walked through, the science we've reflected on, and the wisdom shared from people who have already walked this path all point to the same conclusion. Our choices are the architects of our later years. This is not about being perfect, and it is not about chasing youth. It is about choosing each day to build a life that still feels worth waking up to, no matter how many candles are on the cake. When I think of the people who inspire me most, they are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who faced the same limitations, the same aches and changes that come with age, but who decided to live differently. They didn't cling to what was lost. They invested in what was left. They valued each breath, each conversation, each small chance to take care of their body and nurture their spirit. And because of those choices, their lives after 60 were not just longer but fuller. That fullness is the heart of longevity. It is about quality, meaning, and joy. I want you to know that it is never too late to turn the page. Even if the past was filled with habits that drained your energy, even if you feel behind compared to others, you can begin now. One step is enough to open a new direction. Longevity after 60 begins with awareness, but it comes alive through action. And those actions, though simple, create a profound ripple. Choosing to move your body today means strength tomorrow. Choosing to rest your mind means clarity for the days ahead. Choosing connection means belonging, and belonging is as vital as any medicine. But there is something else that matters deeply, and it is often overlooked: the role of hope. Without hope, no change lasts. With hope, even the hardest change becomes possible. Hope is what pushes us to rise from the chair and walk. Hope is what inspires us to share a meal with a friend instead of eating in silence. Hope is what keeps our eyes lifted toward the possibility that the years ahead can be brighter than the years behind. And that, more than anything, is the spirit I want you to carry with you as we continue. Because the journey is not finished. What comes next is the most practical and life-shaping part of all. I will reveal the 7 daily habits that quietly pull us away from health and independence after 60. These are the very habits we must stop if we want to protect our energy and create more years that truly matter. Do not go anywhere now, because the details ahead could be the exact guidance you need to begin rewriting the story of your later life. This next part is where knowledge meets practice and where real transformation begins. Now we arrive at the moment many of you have been waiting for, the unveiling of the 7 daily habits that silently undermine health and longevity after 60. These habits do not announce themselves with loud warnings. Instead, they creep in quietly, woven into routines that feel familiar. Yet over time, they chip away at strength, energy, and independence. The good news is that awareness is the first step, and once you recognize them, you can choose differently. The first harmful habit is ignoring hydration. Too often I meet people who drink very little water throughout the day, not realizing how much the body relies on it for circulation, digestion, and clarity of mind. Dehydration shows up not just as thirst, but as fatigue, confusion, and aches that could be avoided. Simply choosing to drink water regularly is like offering your body the fuel it needs to keep going strong. The second habit is prolonged sitting. Long hours in a chair, whether in front of the television or by the window, may feel restful, but they quietly weaken muscles and stiffen joints. Movement does not have to be extreme. A short walk around the block, light stretching in the living room, or gentle gardening can bring vitality back into the body and slow down decline. The third is careless eating. With convenience at every corner, it is easy to rely on processed foods or skip balanced meals. Yet these choices rob the body of essential nutrients that maintain energy and resilience. Taking time to prepare meals with fresh, simple ingredients is a way of caring for yourself that pays dividends every single day. The fourth is neglecting rest. Many older adults fall into patterns of staying up late or waking frequently without giving rest the respect it deserves. Consistent sleep allows the body to repair, the mind to reset, and emotions to settle. Creating a calming evening routine is one of the most powerful steps toward better days. The fifth is withdrawing from meaningful connections. Loneliness is not just an emotional weight, it has physical consequences too. Isolation can shorten life just as much as unhealthy behaviors. Choosing to call a friend, join a community group, or simply share a meal with others strengthens the heart in more ways than one. The sixth is postponing preventive care. Skipping regular check-ins with health professionals allows small issues to grow unnoticed. Staying proactive ensures that concerns are addressed early, when they are easier to manage, and it reinforces the message that your well-being is worth protecting. The seventh is carrying worry as a constant companion. Anxiety and rumination drain energy from the body and spirit. Finding ways to release these burdens through breathing, prayer, journaling, or conversation frees space for peace and clarity. These 7 habits are not destiny, they are choices. And the moment you recognize them, you gain the power to replace them with patterns that nurture life. Longevity after 60 is built on the simple but profound act of choosing differently, day after day. Stay with me, because in the next part, I will guide you through how to replace each of these 7 habits with life-giving alternatives that you can begin right away. This is where the message turns into a practical roadmap you can follow, and it is the part you cannot afford to miss. Now that we have uncovered the 7 habits that quietly erode health and joy after 60, let us focus on the most important part: how to replace them with choices that restore strength, peace, and vitality. Awareness without action changes little, but awareness paired with consistent steps can transform the way you live each day. This is not about perfection, and it is not about doing everything at once. It is about choosing one change at a time, building a rhythm that feels natural and sustainable. When it comes to hydration, the solution is as simple as making water a steady companion. Keep a glass nearby throughout the day and treat each sip as an act of self-respect. Your body will thank you with clearer energy and sharper focus. For movement, you do not need a strict routine. Begin with a 5 or 10-minute walk. Add gentle stretching when you wake up or before you rest at night. These small acts keep muscles alive and joints flexible, giving you the gift of independence. Replacing careless eating with mindful nourishment is another life-giving choice. Instead of reaching for processed convenience, try building meals around colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Cooking can become more than a chore. It can be a reminder that your health is worthy of care. And when it comes to rest, create an evening ritual that tells your body it is safe to slow down. Dim the lights, turn off distractions, and allow your mind to settle. Sleep becomes easier when you honor it as a priority, not an afterthought. For connection, the invitation is simple yet profound. Reach out. Make the call you have been postponing. Accept the invitation to join a neighbor for coffee. Connection is a lifeline, and even one meaningful conversation can lift the weight of loneliness. Preventive care can be reframed not as a burden, but as an act of protection. Regular check-ins provide reassurance, and they strengthen your ability to handle challenges early rather than late. And for the habit of constant worry, the replacement is learning the art of release. Practice breathing deeply, speak kindly to yourself, or write your thoughts down so they no longer stay trapped inside. Peace of mind is not a luxury. It is a necessity that supports every other part of your well-being. What makes longevity after 60 possible is not grand gestures, but the layering of small, consistent changes that grow stronger over time. Each replacement habit is a brick laid on the path toward a healthier, more joyful future. And the beauty is that you never walk this path alone. Every choice you make ripples into the lives of those you love, showing them that life after 60 can be a season of renewal, not decline. Stay with me, because in the next part I will bring all of this together. I will show you how these 7 changes create a framework for a life that is not only longer, but deeply fulfilling. This final section will tie every thread into a vision of what is truly possible, and it may be the encouragement you need to step forward with confidence. Do not leave now, because what comes next is the heart of the message, and it is meant just for you. Life after 60 is often painted as a chapter of decline, but what we have uncovered together tells a very different story. Longevity after 60 is not about surrendering to age, but about stepping into a season of renewal, where every choice matters more than ever. We have seen how small habits, if left unchecked, can slowly drain energy, independence, and joy. Yet we have also seen how letting go of those habits and replacing them with healthier, that life-giving ones can bring back vitality, restore strength, and give meaning to each day. The beauty of this truth is that it is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to every single person who chooses to act. I have met people who believed it was too late for them, who thought their path was already set. Yet once they made small changes, drinking more water, taking a short walk each morning, reaching out to a neighbor, allowing themselves to rest without guilt, they discovered something surprising. Their bodies responded, their spirits lifted, and they felt a spark of life they thought was gone. What this shows us is that the human spirit never stops being capable of renewal. The years ahead can be brighter than the years behind if we choose to honor them with care, intention, and hope. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Do not underestimate the value of one small change. For someone over 60, one choice can ripple into years of difference. Choosing to move instead of sit, to connect instead of withdraw, to rest instead of push through exhaustion, these are not just habits. They are acts of courage. They remind us that aging is not about fading away, but about living with dignity, clarity, and joy. And how can you apply this to your life today? Start with one thing. Pick one habit that you know is holding you back and decide to change it. If it is sitting too long, commit to walking around the house every hour. If it is skipping meals, prepare something nourishing that makes you feel cared for. If it is loneliness, call a friend or family member, even if just for a few minutes. These actions may seem small, but together they build a foundation for years of strength and independence. Aging well is not about perfection. It is about direction. Point your days toward life, and life will meet you there. Now, let me ask you a simple question. Do you believe that after 60, it is still possible to improve the quality of your life with new choices? Please share your answer in the comments below so that others can learn from your perspective and be inspired by your wisdom. And if you found this message meaningful, I kindly ask you to support this channel. If this video touched your heart or gave you hope, please subscribe to Beyond 60 Wisdom. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know what resonates with you most. Pass this video along to your friends so they too can benefit from these insights. Your support encourages us to keep creating heartfelt videos filled with care and guidance that speak directly to your journey. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, for listening, and for walking this path together with us. With your presence, Beyond 60 Wisdom will continue to grow, and we will always strive to bring you the very best messages to brighten your days.